Oh, no ways. No. Cut the cameras. Let me take. Hi everyone, welcome to Conversations with Angie. My name is Angie Mkanazi and I am so excited to be back on your phone screens, on your laptop screens, and I have no idea where else you guys watch YouTube. But here I am, and I am back with another video, another conversation, another opportunity for us to talk, to discuss, to learn, to grow, to connect, and to just love and get pulled closer and closer to purpose, I guess. Today's topic, as you can see in the description, is... Okay, so to fill some of you guys in, if you didn't actually see the video or you didn't follow the trend on Twitter, basically, Vusi Sembagwayo was doing, I think it was a master class, or I don't know what it was, but he was in a room with very few people. I think it must have been 30 people, and he said, Black people were not ready for freedom. Guys, I was hurt. The moment I actually heard that, I was hurt. Like, I actually could not believe it. I genuinely could not believe it. And he said, he said it's his truth that Black people were not ready for freedom. As if freedom is something that the oppressor said, oh, by the way, here's some freedom. Are you ready for it? It's literally a crime against humanity. Like, what the oppressors did literally is a crime against humanity. They literally enslaved people. They enslaved people physically. They enslaved people mentally. They enslaved people psychologically. If that's not a crime against humanity, at this point, I have no idea what the hell that definition is. So if you're telling me that a crime, that I was not ready to be released from oppression, I was not ready to be free from a crime that is against humanity, you're telling me that I was not ready to think on my own, to make my own decisions, to be my own person. Like, you're telling me that I wasn't ready. How does that make sense? That is victim shaming. Victim shaming, guys, is basically blaming. It's basically blaming the victim. It's making the victim seem like the bad person for being a victim. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it makes sense for someone to say that Black people were not ready for freedom. That is unfair. And you know, guys, he said, what was it? He was like, Black people have this mentality that they can only be one. And then he made an example. He said, in America, there could only be one house nigger, like one Black person working inside the house, like the rest had to be out in the open fields. And then he said, now Black people think that there can only be one. They don't understand that the spaces that Black people, the top positions that Black people are filling up, is to open more doors for more Black people. Listen, I don't care. I don't care if that's the Black people. Okay, no, I do care if, you know, there's the mentality of Black people, because obviously nobody wants that. Everyone wants, you know, to have opportunity, to know that they can do something great as well, to know that they don't have to compete, they can collaborate, you know what I mean? And he did say this, but my chat is, you cannot tell me that you're blaming me as a Black person for thinking that there can only be one successful Black person when white people were the reason that I thought that is enslaving me psychologically, making me think that there can only be one house nigger, there can only be one successful Black person. They did that to me. They made me think that there are black people who were born into slavery, and they were slaves their whole lives, and that's the life that they saw. That is the life that white people gave to them. And now you're telling me that you're blaming them for thinking the way that white people made them think, when they were oppressing them, when they were enslaving them, when they were making them think that they were less than everything that they were. And oh God, a part of me just feels like he now knows what the oppressor knows, and he's starting to like feed into their idea. He's starting to look at black people the way that white people look at black people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think when you're around a certain group of people for quite some time, you know, it's I think it's only natural to develop their ideas and to think the way they do, act the way they do, and speak the way they do. Honestly, that's honestly my opinion. I think it's only natural, actually, which is why I'm saying that he's blaming black people for being oppressed, because it doesn't make sense for you to expect someone who's been oppressed and who's been in whose reality was oppression to then be released from oppression and then start behaving like the oppressor. They don't know what that is. They can't behave like something they feared. Okay guys, so I've said what I have to say. I've added my 2 cents on the matter, and I think it's really important that we never forget where we come from. And you know, this is why history is so important, because it's not enough to say, oh, we all live in a free South Africa now, like as if people aren't more complex than that. There's psychological issues, there's PTSD. Do you know there are some people who literally still fear white people? Like, literally, like, there are people, guys, there are old people who literally fear white people. Like, there are old people who, guys, an old member of my family told me that, you know, you're really lucky to be able to go to a university that has white people. So I think, you know, you just should just stay there, you know, just study and just finish. And I was like, I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but I would never understand if I acted on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's time for me to take the baton and to disrupt spaces where there's racism, call it out and be like, nah, nigga, no, not today, Fanikirk, not today. So yeah, you know what I mean. I really think he needs to check on himself, and he needs to remind himself about history. He needs to remind himself where his people come from. Yeah, Uguti, black people are not ready for freedom. That was so hurtful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much. And I cannot wait to shoot again and post another video. This is starting to feel more and more like home. I love it so much. Bye guys.